Welcome back. Today I'm taking you inside one of the most powerful Senate Judiciary hearings in years. It was personal, raw, and deeply moving. Testimony from women whose lives were torn apart in state prisons. Senator John Kennedy took the mic, bringing both heartfelt commitment and hard truth. From confronting prison abuse to a controversial tweet, this hearing had everything. As the hearing began, I addressed two brave women, Miss Umberger and Miss Elboy. One had been incarcerated, the other watched her daughter suffer behind bars. I thanked them. Their stories weren't just testimony, they were raw truth that broke through the political noise. When fixing our justice system, we need more than stats. We need heart.
Thank you, Chair Durbin. Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for calling this hearing. Ms. Umberger, you were in a Georgia state prison?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And Ms. LaBoy, am I saying your name right?
Yes, sir.
Your daughter was in a state prison?
Yes, York Correctional.
And Georgia?
York Correctional in Connecticut.
In Connecticut?
In Niantic, Connecticut,
Okay.
yes.
Well, I want to thank both of you for coming. It's, I mean, your testimony was instructive, but that sounds kind of sterile when you put it that way. It was also moving.
This isn't the first time I've raised these concerns. I've talked with Senator Cory Booker about solitary confinement before, and I'm saying it again now. We need change. Georgia officials must explain what's happening in their prisons. We need transparency and solutions. If you believe in accountability, click subscribe to help spread these stories and demand change.
I know these four colleagues well. Hope we'll have another hearing on this subject. I would like to sit down with them and others and try to figure out how to address this problem.
Yeah.
I've had this discussion with Senator Booker before. I think we need to address the issue of solitary confinement in our prisons. We need to involve law enforcement. I'm hoping in another hearing we'll offer the Georgia state officials the chance to come in and tell us what happened here and offer constructive suggestions. I guess what I'm saying is I pledge to you to try to sit down and let's see if we can address this problem. I'm gonna have to leave in a second. I don't want you to be offended by that. We've got a vote going on.
Then came a moment that caught everyone off guard. I turned to Dr. Sufrin, a Johns Hopkins professor testifying on reproductive health care for incarcerated women. I brought up a tweet from her account dated September 29, 2018. She called a discussion about ending incarceration an antidote to the white supremacist Kavanaugh show. I asked, "Were you speaking for Johns Hopkins?" She said no. But if we want to fix the system, we can't start with divisive rhetoric. We need unity.
Dr. Sufrin, tell me your credentials again.
I'm a board-certified obstetrician-gynecologist, and I also have a doctoral degree.
Yes, ma'am. And you're a professor?
I'm a professor at Johns Hopkins University.
And the medical school, or?
In the School of Medicine and at the School of Public Health.
Okay. You're a chaired professor, or?
I am not.
Okay. All right. But you represent, or you are a part of the Johns Hopkins system?
I am,
Yeah.
but I'm not representing Johns Hopkins.
Understand.
My goal isn't to attack, it's to fix. I told Dr. Sufrin and everyone, we need candid conversations, not partisanship. If we stay divided, we'll never fix what's broken. I thank the women who testified and respected the professor's expertise. But I stood firm. Divisive language makes unity harder. This hearing wasn't perfect. It was tense, emotional, and sometimes uncomfortable, but necessary. We can't fix our prisons without hearing the truth from those who've lived it. Thanks to everyone who showed up, testified, and watched. If you believe in honest justice, subscribe, share, and comment below. Until next time, stay informed, stay strong.
Well, we're going to solve this problem, we got to be candid with each other. Do you have a Twitter account?
Thank you, Senator, for your question, but I'm here today to talk about my expertise on reproductive health care for incarcerated women.
Is your Twitter account jail care?
That is thank you, Senator, that is a Twitter account that is associated with a book that I published in 2017. But I'm really here today to talk about my expertise on reproductive health care and pregnancy care for incarcerated women.
On September 29th of 2018, at 3:33, I'm going to read you one of your tweets. These are your words, not mine. Quote, Piper reminding us that gathering to discuss ending incarceration of women girls. Piper reminding us that gathering to discuss ending incarceration of women and girls is anecdote to white supremacist Kavanaugh shit show. Professor, did I read that correctly?
Thank you for reciting that. I'm really here today to talk about research and improving conditions for incarcerated pregnant women.
Were you speaking for Johns Hopkins when you sent this out?
I was not speaking for Johns Hopkins.
Well, I'd like to solve this problem, Professor. But we're not going to solve it with that kind of attitude. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I appreciate the courage that it took to come forward today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.